According to the United States, Iran and the US is supposed to have a deal signed today. However, Iran been saying there is no timing on it. But once the deal is signed, supposedly today, the Strait of Hormuz will reopen. But from my understanding, I thought the United States said the strait was never closed. So now they're basically saying it is closed. So Axios did put up an interesting article today. And the article headline is Iran warns Israel's Beirut strike could derail U.S. deal. Again, Iran warns Israel's Beirut strike could derail U.S. deal. So here's the picture from Israel's strike they did, I think, on Hezbollah. So let's go ahead and get started with this article. A drone strike on northern Israel set off a chain reaction Sunday. Israel hit Hezbollah targets in Beirut in retaliation, and Iran is now threatening to strike back. Again, Iran is now threatening to strike back on Israel for targeting Hezbollah targets in Beirut. Now, we dealt with something similar probably about last week, I think. I guess Israel and Iran exchanged strikes for a day or two. So let's go ahead and continue. The escalation lands hours before the U.S. and Iran are supposed to sign a deal to end their war, and now Iranian officials have signaled Israel's attacks could scuttle the agreement. A similar strike last week led to Iran launching missiles at Israel and a day of escalation between the two countries. On Sunday morning, Hezbollah launched several drones at northern Israel. Hours later, Israel struck a Hezbollah command center in Beirut, the IDF said. Israel's strikes killed at least one person and wounded four. Israeli officials said the target was Hezbollah's military telecommunications chief. The Israeli military notified the U.S. Central Command shortly before the Beirut strike, Israeli and U.S. officials say. It is not clear whether the White House gave it a green light. Iranian chief negotiator Mohammed Bagher signaled the Israeli strike on Beirut could undermine the U.S. deal, Iran deal. Again, Iranian chief negotiator Mohammed Bagher signaled the Israeli strike on Beirut could undermine the U.S.-Iran deal. The Zionist aggression in Dahleh has once shown that American either does not have the will or the ability to fulfill its obligations. You cannot gain concussion by giving the regime Israel a green light. The good cop, bad cop routine has become old. If you do not have the will or ability to fulfill your own commitments, then there is no bias for talking about continuing down this path, said Galfeh, who is also Iran's Speaker of Parliament. The deputy commander of the Iranian Armed Forces Emergency Headquarters, General Mohammed Jafar, I think I say his name correctly, said the Israeli attack on Beirut will not go unanswered. So they're saying that the Israeli attack on Beirut will not go unanswered since they killed one and I think it's that injured four. See, where was we? In a statement, the IDF is preparing for possible incoming fire on Israel in the coming hours and warns it will not tolerate attacks on Israeli territory. So basically, it seemed like things are escalating once again over there in the Middle East. Just hours before, since the United States are saying a deal with Iran to end the war is going to be signed today. But since what happened between Israel and Hezbollah is possible, that might get delayed, even though Iran been saying that there was no time frame on it. I don't think Iran really is going to sign a deal with the United States. But regardless, Iran is threatening to strike back on Israel since they struck Hezbollah targets inside of Beirut. And if it get too out of hand, we already know the United States might go back and find some reason why they want to attack Iran. Because I'm pretty sure the United States is not over with Iran. But with this coming out, we got to see how this goes. Will Iran actually strike Israel? They did it just last week when they was going back and forth. And then the United States jumped in because apparently Iran shot down one of our helicopters. And then they also followed up with new waves of attacks because they was taking too long to negotiate. But the United States was the same country saying they did not want to rush into negotiations with Iran, just for us to come back a week or two later to strike Iran because they're taking too long to negotiate. So how long Iran will take on this deal if they actually don't sign it today? Because again, Iran is saying there's no time frame on this deal. But the United States is saying the deal is going to be signed today. I think the United States want the deal signed today for a certain reason. But regardless, and it stopped recording on me. Real funny. Real funny. Oh, no, it didn't stop recording. I accidentally got off here. Okay, well, that's basically the end of this video anyway. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did not mean to hit that button. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload a new video, and I will keep you guys posted just in case. I keep doing it again, just in case Iran actually do retaliate on Iran for on Israel for attacking Hezbollah targets in Iran, and see how this will put the U.S. and Iran deal in jeopardy. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys will stay safe out there. It's your boy Arande out.